Hey, how we doing? You know what it is. I am David Long, and the place to be, checking in with the beautiful people in my group. Said I was gonna come and hang out with you guys today. It may not be still today where you're at, but it's still today where I'm at. It's like, what, like 11 or something? Anyways, basically what I'm thinking is, I'm just gonna tell you what was going on with me at the beginning of last year around this time, and I'm gonna tell you about where I see the next year going. We're gonna go over some of the stuff that I've made and kind of like where I'm at in my process. I'm just gonna kind of tell you everything I got going and what I'm thinking for this next year. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, Alyosha and I did put out a new integral review about Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Definitely worth checking out. The sound effects are real fun, so I hope you get into some of that. Watch Star Wars first. It'll probably be better if you do, because there's some spoilers in there. And I just came out with the meme review today, meme review number 2, about spiral wizards and some other fun stuff in there. Kinda poking a little bit, you know, how I like to do. Man, it's been quite a year. It's interesting when I look back over the videos that I released in the last year, like how much I got done, because I think when I was first starting out the year, I was thinking about, okay, I want to be consistent. Like I want to do bi-weekly Q&As, and I want to do monthly meme reviews, and I want to do an interview a month, and I want to do a vlog a month. Something like that. One of those every week throughout the month. That was my goal, to kind of be consistent. But it took me like 2 months, at least 2 or 3 months, to finish my vlog that I shot from my Florida trip. And I was like, I'm gonna do a vlog a month. Because before that, like the year before, I thought I was gonna do way more vlogs. I originally said a vlog a week, then I moved it to a vlog a month and basically did like the equivalent of a vlog a month. And so I thought I was gonna be able to keep that up. And all year I did that one vlog. I did too much other stuff. I was so overwhelmed by trying to do all that stuff that about, I would say like halfway through, I was like, no, I can't do any more Q&As. I think we're up to Q&A 12, and in this last year, I only actually edited and put out number 6, 7, and 8. So I still have to do 9, 10, 11, and 12, the editing and the putting out of those. So I'm sitting on that currently. Sitting on 4, put out 3. So that's why I'm taking a break from making videos, because basically I'm playing catch up from where I wanted to be. And I actually shot a lot of this stuff, but I didn't have time to edit it all. So I did make 2 of my most popular videos ever this year. One of them was my response to Ken Wilber, Sam Harris, and Jordan Peterson, or should I say Ken Wilber's talk about Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson. And I kind of go through and break down their sort of strengths and limits. And a lot of people really like this video. And I think it really helped to have all those names in the video: Ken Wilber, Sam Harris, Jordan Peterson. That casts a pretty broad net. And even the people who weren't really able to fully understand what I was talking about with all the distinctions in the terminology, they basically were able to follow the gist of the problems that I was pointing out, and they were like, yeah, that's a problem. So that was a big one. And I want to say I worked on that for like 3 months. Maybe longer. It took me a long time to make this video. But as I was making it and trying to make it better and better, I was like, this is an important video. I'm gonna really do a good job on this one. And I also spent like 2.5 months on my response to Keith video. Keith is just some guy who did a critique of my epistemology video from a more idealistic perspective and posted it on Integral Global, along with his book about something about deconstructing or the delusion of, or some negative thing about materialism, where he reduces everybody who's a materialist to an empirical reductionist and strawmans them and rejects them, kind of a thing. You know, like basically the worst moves that you see in the integral community. Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to do a good response to this guy. And I got in there and dealt with his points, and I tried to make it aesthetically pleasing and do a good job on it and make it fun to watch. You know, he's not really as big of a celebrity as these other guys, but I thought it was an important way to demonstrate some of these problems and talk about updates to the epistemology and to talk about a lot of these common bad ideas that we see in our community. What's up, John? Hope you're doing well, bud. So if you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. Those are some videos that took a long time. So not only was I trying to do these like every week I have a new video kind of videos, but I was also throwing these huge projects on top of it. And yeah, it's a lot. It ends up being a lot. And so not only are there these real big videos that come up like, oh, Ken Wilber just put out this thing, I should probably make something about this kind of videos that are just like spontaneous in the zeitgeist, but there's a bunch of videos that I have been kind of sitting on that I want to make. I want to do some more intro videos like about lines and spiral dynamics levels and stuff like that. So I also want to do a couple more like pre-trans videos. Like I'd like to do like a trans-rational take on Buddhism, and I'd like to talk about a trans-rational take on tarot cards and astrology and archetypes and things like that. So basically the kinds of things that people are interested in and there's something true about it, I would like to get in there and like affirm some of that. Things like that. Let's see. I'd also like to make a video about like why integral, you know, kind of getting into the details of like why I think it's important to take on this banner and this brand and like why specifically integral, and also, you know, how it can benefit you kind of a thing. But I also really want to do some kind of a more explicit unpacking of nested quadratic holarchies, and I really want to do a video about integral communication, right, where I give you guys some kind of a method for dealing with people up and down the spiral and knowing when to do what kind of a thing. So that's been something those are all things I want to do. I also have this idea that I want to come out with soon. I've been working on it. It's called mind maps, and it's basically like systematic breakdowns of the ways that ideas go wrong. And I'm wanting to do one about this Eastern Buddhist cosmology of consciousness as the ultimate source, the absolute or whatever, and go through this kind of unfolding breakdown that shows all the ways that it goes wrong and all the bad ideas that it's nested in, right? So I have this drawn out. I can walk you through it. It's like basically like a PowerPoint flowchart diagram type of thing. And I'm trying to clean it up a little bit and make it a little bit nicer and a little bit tighter and a little bit more consistent. I'm thinking about making this into a series of breakdowns where I go through and I break it all down in like quick symbolic ways and show the patterns of how people go wrong and stuff like that. Mind maps, just kind of quick and dirty breakdowns from a meta perspective, right? And so along with this, I want to come out with also a positive case for emergentism, like, because I'm basically saying that I think that we need to be able to build all of our ideas from the ground up in a reasonable way and put all of our cards on the table. And I think if we do this, if you can make both a positive and negative case for and against the arguments that we're going to argue for and against, right? Like, then we can have a debate. And if we put our cards on the table in public beforehand, before the debate, then we can already know all the moves that we're going to be making for and against the positions. And it really exposes our ability to interrogate these moves and to know how to do it in advance. And I want to introduce this new integral debate style based on integral governance, where we can track all the moves and see if they stand or not at the end. So in this kind of a format, you could really say who won the debate. So this is a real upgrade on the potential for debates. So far, it's mostly been like, well, who knows? You know, you decide based on who you like and what was convincing to you kind of thing. But I think integral people can track these points and see which ones stand and which ones don't, even based on how the arguments unfold. You can just write down the points and the objections that are made against them and the points that are made to try to sustain them, and track all that stuff through and then see what you get at the end. Anyways, so that's stuff that I'm wanting to make and some of the stuff that I've made. So like this year I made and put out 24 videos. So that's like an average of 2 a month. And I have about 17 videos 17 videos that I'm sitting on, needing to edit so I can put them out to you. This is why I'm taking a break, because I need to get caught up on this stuff. I have a bunch of videos that are going to be coming out in the beginning part of this year, if I can knock them out quick, that are going to be videos from last year that the YouTube community hasn't seen yet, that haven't been edited down. I'm going to make them cool. I'm going to make them fun to watch. No ums and long gaps and breaks and stuff. I respect your guys' time. I want these things to be good. I'm doing them for the record. So maybe I'll go through the ones that I've made real quick, and then we'll go through the ones that I still haven't made. And so my idea behind this is that you can kind of go through and ask yourself if you've watched those ones. I'm not going to go too into detail. Like I did Q&A 6, 7, and 8. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what those ones are about, but I'm sure they're fun to watch. I've actually started putting more editing into those things before. Like, they're all down to about 20 minutes. They were all about an hour's worth of talk. So you get like an hour's worth of the talk edited down to like 20, 25 minutes, something like that. Saving you a good amount of time. And it's actually more fun to watch. And I've been spicing them up a little bit. So definitely check those out. Get caught up on your Q's and A's. We did the Power of Myth series this year, which I'm really proud of. It's coming together well. Number 1 and 2 are already out. I'm just about to put out number 3, and they're pretty fun. They're looking real good. I've done a like remix of the intro song for each one, and I've been really enjoying that. That's a fun art project for me to go along with this thing, because I like stacking extra projects on top because I'm ridiculous. So we've introduced this Integral Review Live, not just the Integral Review podcast, but Integral Review Live. And we did the Jordan Peterson Žižek debate on there as well. And that's on the Integral Emergentist Revolutionary Movement YouTube page. If you're not subscribed to that, you should go there and get subscribed to that. Yeah, so the Power of Myth, the Žižek debate, we did those live in the group with you guys. And then the edited versions have come out on the YouTube. And then we did do Integral Review with, like I said recently, with Star Wars, and we also did the response to Mario, because we're trying to be the kinds of people who will actually respond to people who make videos and stuff about us. We feel that that's an important virtue in our community, is to engage back with these things, to not feel like above it, as some people do. So we made the response back to Mario about Jordan Peterson from an integral perspective. And we also came out with the review of Ken Wilber's idea on free will. That's a really good one. If you haven't heard that one yet, I would highly suggest you check it out. It really kind of, as Alyosha says, really cuts to the heart of how Ken Wilber is messing it up. His bad methodology is laid bare. It's very obvious in the way that he talks about these things. So Alyosha is working on a book about free will. That's going to come out this year. And then I'm probably going to write like the foreword to it. So that'll be special, or like an intro or some little bit to it. And I'm going to stand on the back of his knowledge about how to put out a book and get out my long view book. This is a goal for me for this year. It's to get out this long view book, this handbook for an integral revolutionary movement, and to start this Integral Hub webpage. So as soon as I figure out exactly who can help me get this complicated database type webpage built, and I get a number, I'm going to start handing it to you to raise money to help me get this. I'll put in money on it too, to get this Integral Hub webpage up. We'll open it up to the whole community. It's going to be well organized, and it's going to be the hub for the integral movement that's going to start happening on the backside of this. For me, you can't just make a book. What's up, Michael? Here's a book about how the revolution is. It's like, here's the book and here's the web page. Let's get plugged in. Let's get it going. I'm not just about talking about it. I want to like make it happen. That's why this book isn't already out, because I don't want to create a bunch of buzz and have nothing for anyone to do. So I'm trying to get my ducks in a row, and we're going to get this integral movement going. It's going to be exciting, and it'll come together kind of quick. Okay, so another thing this year that's going to be a goal for me, and that I would encourage y'all to get involved with too, is I'm going to start the local integral group here in my city and hold down that space. Even if nobody comes, I'm going to hold space for it, just so that way people can know, okay, well, it's going to be happening. It's going to be there. So this year, I'm holding down space for a local integral group, and there's a handful of people I know who live locally, who are integrally informed, who I'm going to invite to that, and we're gonna get that going. Also want to get some integral leadership meetings going in this group. I want them to be self-sustained and happening without me. So, I want to make sure that we get some integral leadership taught. I talked to my friend Cecile Green, who does Collab Integral Governance, and we're going to schedule some time here pretty soon to talk about that. But I really want to get you guys taught how to do this and practice it. Friday, I have a show at the local Nomads Trailside. I'm performing my CD release party here, so pretty excited about it. A little bit stressed. Yeah, like I have a tendency to take on a whole lot of stuff, and it's hard for it to all come together, but somehow it kind of does. Okay, let's see, what else? I want to put out some music videos this year on the back of my album. My album came out this year. I feel really good about that. It's been like 3 years in the making. Feeling pretty proud of it. It's my more pop album. Let's see. I did those interviews with Chris Emerson that came out on YouTube about seriousness in play and this authentic irony. That's a pretty good talk. I don't know if you got to see it, but it's pretty good. I also did Talking with Teal with Ryan. Shout out to Ryan. What's up, homie? And I did stuff on the Integral stage, which is pretty awesome. I thought it was going to be a little bit more about addressing some of the issues in the Integral community, but it's still early days, and I'm hoping to get into more of that kind of stuff. I've been talking about that stuff on the Integral stage. So like we talked about what states are from an Integral perspective, and I present it from this more emergentist perspective and a more like integral realism, integral skepticism kind of perspective. And then we did that roundtable circle talking about it in a group. Be interested to know what you guys thought about that if you saw it. Then we did Sacred Naturalism, and I got to share a video with Michael Dowd. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. I edited his talk so that way all of his gaps and ums and stutters were out, and I tried to leave room for his preacherly rhythms and things like that, and he wasn't a fan of the editing, so I'm a little bit bummed out about that. I think there's a generational gap around this editing style. Young people are like, yeah, don't waste my time, let's get it. And older people are like, I feel, just let it play, it's fine. Don't jump around, it's like jarring, I don't like it. Whatever. My talk was about integral spirituality from a sacred naturalism kind of perspective, and different strengths and limits of different traditions and how it's helpful and important to include all of them in some kind of way. And I just did a talk a couple days ago with Layman Pascal about the pre-trans fallacy and how it's misunderstood in our community and what's going on all around it. We tap danced all around it. I did do Meme Review 1 and 2, so you should check that out if you haven't already. Like I said, I did my vlog about my Florida trip at the beginning of the year. This year we went up to Vermont. We stopped in North Carolina in Asheville to hang out with my buddy Kevin on the way. I got 10 hours worth of footage that I'm gonna have to edit down to a digestible vlog size. What's up, Steven? And yeah, so that'll be coming out probably in the next couple months. I also had my 1K, 1,000 subscribers this year. And that 1K video, I would say, it was a real game changer for me. Not only was it the most fun video I've ever made in terms of like a video that, actually making the video, but it was also like really touching to me because I got a bunch of videos from you guys, like 30 videos from you guys, all congratulating me and like sending me love. I'm reading Michael saying, oh man, I can't wait for that pre-trans with Layman. Yeah, it's a good one, man. We had a good talk. So yeah, the 1K video is when I really realized I have a group of people. Like, these are not just people that are subscribers in this group, but like these are real people who care about this work that I'm doing and resonate with some of the things that I'm passionate about. Like, we have a real community, and I started taking this group a lot more seriously. I would say this year for me is like really the birth of this group and a real kind of intimate connection with a lot of people in this group. I feel close to people in this group. I know a lot of you guys personally. I know what your personal projects are. I know what your passions are. I got mad love for people in this group, and I don't hear from some of you guys for a little while, and I'm like, dang, I need to go check in on them. And I hit you up, like Michael is watching right now, and I'm thinking about his hip-hop band that is playing and touring, and man, that's super cool. Like, what's up, Kai? Sending love. Man, yeah, I love my group. I love you guys. Me and Kai, at Christmas, we put out this Future Historians, like Back to the Future Wu-Tang Clan style rap song. Basically, I was teaching Kai some rap stuff, and we grabbed this Wu-Tang beat, and I was thinking about my talk with Kevin about future historians moving through time in their purple DeLoreans. And I was like, man, that's an awesome rap song right there. Back to the Future tribute, Wu-Tang style. Hit up that Future Historians if you haven't seen it. I also recently painted a bench for my local Mellow Mushroom, and I just posted the speed painting of that if you want to check that out. It's like this mushroom wizard guy. So that's a lot of the stuff. That's pretty much everything I came out with this year on YouTube. But I had that Q&A with John Ireland, another one with Joe Lightfoot. These aren't edited yet. I'm super excited to put them out. I did this interview with Bruce Alderman, about halfway done editing that one. I did a talk about hip-hop and spiral dynamics with David from Black Leadership Analysis. That one's super cool. I did that video with Zen. Do you guys remember the talk with Zen? I need to do an edit of that video and put it out, and I'm gonna do a breakdown of that video and talk about what happened and everything that went on with that. So that'll be fun and interesting. Jason Grant, I made a video with him, like being kind of critical of his Fresh Mind project and kind of showing why it wasn't really necessarily true to integral standards. And I think my back and forth with him, maybe I should just put that one out unedited. My back and forth with him is very Socratic style, and I feel like it's a good one to watch. I feel like that's what's kind of interesting about some of these talks, is not just the content, but the style, especially when there's disagreement involved. It's interesting. So I also had that talk with the guys from Integral World Summit, Robert Schramm and Troy Wiley. Big fan of Troy Wiley and his work. Some of these ones that I'm talking about, most of these ones you can find the unedited versions of here in the group, but I'm talking about putting out the edited versions. Still got to do Power of Myth 3 through 6. They're coming together though. I also have a talk that I'm going to put out soon with Daniel Gortz and Joe Lightfoot. Daniel's representing Hansi from Metamodernism, and Joe is a fan of both me and Hansi, and so he's kind of asking us both, you know, where we stand on certain issues and having us kind of talk about some of this stuff, and it's a really good talk. So I'm super excited to put out that for you. Unfortunately, it's going to be audio only, but it's a great talk, so you're going to want to check this out. Especially if you're wondering what's going on with metamodernism and how it relates to what I'm doing and vice versa. This is a good talk to check out. So I got 2 other vlogs coming out. Kai and I, we rented local bikes and we rode from one side of the town through our bike trail to the other, and we made a vlog about it. That vlog is still coming together, and we just did this Vermont trip together. Got like 10 hours of footage, like I said, for that. And so those things are all coming out soon. Let's see. In terms of other things I want to do this next year, Kai and I are working hard on our 3R business stuff. So if you want to follow us at Third Reality Productions, you can kind of see the different vlogs and stuff that we're going to be making about our more professional work. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, that's going to be fun and more personal, but in the more like making videos and doing art kind of stuff. Like I said, I also want to put out some music videos this year. We have a few in mind, a couple that we're working on and we've done some tests on. And I really want to start doing some out-of-town shows and going on some tours and trying to get plugged into some festivals. I don't know if you got that 1K merch yet, this t-shirt that Kai put out with the 1K video, but that is really cool, and it has super inspired Kai to start turning his mirror series and a lot of this work into this new I Am clothing line. And I really like this because, you know what's up, I am David Long, and now we have I Am Kai. I think this is beautiful because, like, he's my close friends and has been a bit of a philosophy student to me, a little bit of a coaching student, and, you know, of course a close friend and a business partner. But I've really seen him grow and come into his own and be awesome and really step out and be bold. You guys should check out this video that he just put out in the group. It is a really powerful statement where he's like owning himself and owning his skills and saying, I am Kai, I realize my place in this greater unfolding, and I'm gonna step out in my own authenticity with both pride and humility, with both strength and vulnerability, and own my ish and not be afraid to say it. You know, so many people struggle with being themselves and putting themselves out there, and it's great to see Kai do it. He's a badass, and I feel blessed and privileged to be able to inspire him to be able to really feel like he can fully be himself like that. And it's beautiful. I made a lot of this art and said a lot of these things originally just to be able to encourage and inspire myself, in hopes that some of this stuff would encourage and inspire other people. And it makes me feel real good to see other people feeling inspired and stepping into their power and being awesome. So hey, you know, if you want to own it as your moniker, feel free to do it. I am Michael Slade. It's like a representation of divine pride, realizing first and foremost that you are the universe in flux, that I am that I am. I am this greater being, also David Long, also Kai, also Michael Slade. So that's what's up. That responsible creativity, conscious becoming. That's the hokey pokey. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Here's a good note to end on. I need more support. I give everything away for free, and I want to keep doing that. This is a special group with tons of special people, and I try to consistently make things for you guys, and I'm gonna do that, period. But if you value this stuff, it would mean a lot to me if you could get on Patreon and hook me up with like $3 to $5 a month. Some of you guys are already doing it, and I really appreciate that. I don't want to break anybody's bank. I want it to be spread out enough amongst everyone, so that way everyone just gives a little bit, and then I have enough to bring value back to everyone. This isn't some Integral Life paywall type of thing where I want to make a special place for only members who pay $15 a month. No, I'm doing all of this for free. I just ask for support and donations, and I could really use it because, man, I am struggling. And yeah, I live really cheap, so I'm able to get by. But if everybody could help out with like $5 a month, and as long as you can for real afford that, don't do it if you can't afford it. But if you could afford like $5 a month, like $10 a month, like if you're really rolling in it, you know, maybe throw $20 a month, something like that. Whatever you can afford, help a brother out. I'll put links to my Patreon in the description, but I'm sure if you go to any of the videos, and especially these new videos, the ones I'm talking about, the meme review or whatever, click the description, you can find a link to my Patreon in there for sure. Anyways, I hate asking, but I really need to because I want this to be sustainable. I want to be able to work on this stuff for you guys, like mostly full time, because there's a lot of good stuff I want to make. You know what? Once I get to the point where I'm like pretty much taken care of, I'll still do the Patreon thing, but I'm not going to ask in any kind of obnoxious way. At the end, I'll be like, support me on Patreon, thanks to my Patreons, peace. I promise that, okay? I'm not going to be one of these cash fiends. I'm just trying to make it over here. Let's see, anything else? Do you guys got any kind of questions or anything? I got like 17 videos still to make for you guys. I made 24 finished edited videos, 17 videos unedited. That means I made a little over 40 videos and got a little over half of them edited last year. Man, that's a lot. And now I gotta do this end of year review video that I'm making. You know, now I gotta edit this guy. It just piles on. You guys have no idea how much freaking work it is. It's stressful too, because when I don't put it out, when I don't get it done, I feel like I'm like letting you guys down. And that makes me feel terrible. I'm like, work harder, you slave. Whoosh, whoosh. Crack the whip on myself over here. Let's see. Big respect to Michael Slade, everybody who's watching, Steven, Kai, John, Caleb, everybody who's watching, everybody who's going to be watching. It's going to be a great year. This is going to be the year where we start bringing it out into the world, where we're going to kick it off, where we're going to start making it really happen, where it's going to start to come together. Our culture is coming together. I talk about this group and how much I love it and the kind of culture that we're creating together in this new layman video. So I'm bragging on you guys. I'm proud of the people who we have here, the conversations that we have here, and the community and the kind of values and ways that we talk to each other and ways that we learn from each other. I really mean that. I think that this group is the best group on Facebook, the best group I've ever been in. So big respect to all of y'all. And let's see, if I can't get any questions out of you, maybe I could ask you to each of you say something that you're gonna try and do different this year. What did you learn from last year, and what are you gonna do different this year? Last year, for me, I tried to create a steady pace, trying to find a good rhythm and stay on top of it, and I guess I failed, you know, but I made a lot of good stuff, so I don't feel too bad about it. This year, I'm gonna try and learn from this last year, having a understanding of how much I can do in a year. And I'm gonna try and this year get caught up, get the stuff done that I need to get done, and have a more realistic understanding of what my actual abilities are and what my limits are. Like, if I could get caught up and do some of these important things that I want to do, and probably deal with a few of the things that will just randomly come up as the year goes, I'm gonna feel good about that. If I can get out and do some shows, expand my networks, and hold down real space in the world, and get this book out and get this web page together, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be enough. I can kind of rest on some of the work that I've done so far and have a good amount of stuff to point to for people, as well as pretty consistently release a lot of the stuff that I'm now sitting on. So I'll still do some Q&As after I get caught back up. I'll do some more, and I'll still do some meme reviews. More balance for me and reminding myself who I am, says Michael. That's right, I like that. All about trying to find that balance and remembering who and what you are and what you got going. And man, we do not realize our power and potential. You know, that's what I've learned. You set high goals for yourself, crazy goals. Fill up your plate to ridiculous heights, and maybe you don't finish all of it, but you'd be surprised with how much you can do, especially if you really just push through and power through and say, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do it. You'd be pretty amazed with what you can do. Maybe even to the point where you'll start doing like what I do. Like, I know I can do a lot of stuff, so I end up piling on extra. It's ridiculous. I do end up doing it, but it takes me longer than I think, almost always. But we can do a lot. If there's something that you would like to see me do, or something that I've talked about that you really like, that you want to be like, oh, I really like this one, I want to see more stuff like this because this is what I liked about it, this is a great time for that. If you really like the meme review, you're like, oh, well, I like that meme review, we gotta have more of that meme review, son. I want to be like, all right, let's vote for the meme review. Good, I'm glad to know you like that. Or if it's like, you know, you really like the Integral Review Live, hanging out with me and Alyosha, let me know what it is, you know what I mean? I want to hear back about that stuff. You know, when you post this stuff in groups, mostly is what you get is negative criticisms, and people who actually like it will just click like, or not even click like, and just be like, yeah, that was pretty good, and then go about their day. Yo, I could use some of that positive feedback from every now and again, you know? So that's what's up. Like I said this before, like, if you watch something, like if we post this new Star Wars Integral review or this new meme review or something, make a comment. Just be like, I watched this, I like this about it. I watched this, I didn't like this about it. Just be like, you know, I checked this out. Just let me know that you watched it. That'd be great. I'll open up a conversation about it. Let's get it going. You guys are all super smart, and I know some of you guys are watching some of this stuff, so I want to know what your favorite stuff is. I want to know what you think about stuff. I need that feedback. Give me the feedback. All right, you guys, and if there's a lady as well, Julie, I think it was, maybe you're still here. I hope y'all have a fabulous, wonderful year, decade, lifetime, all that. I look forward to hanging out with you more. I'm around, you know, I'm trying to get caught up. My life is hectic, but I'm here. Hit me up if you want to talk. You know, we'll hang out soon. Peace.